Hello everyone, Dracon84 here and welcome back to another Like Be a Landlord video. My son is asleep, so it's time to start recording and let's just get to it. Alright. First spin cultist? I think we can do that. There's kind of a small danger I just picked a zero value symbol on the first spin, so I have to compensate for that a little bit. That's not that difficult. I'm actually going to grab a gambler here and hope that I'm getting a die at some point. It's just a one value symbol, but it's relatively easy to remove. I mean, it's still so early that I think it's easy to do this. Alright, rabbit means that we have to pick up more symbols, because it's just a one value symbol now, but it will be a three value symbol pretty soon. And I mean, we need to compensate for picking up some bad symbols early, so that's blue pepper, but we have a bunch of symbols that are going to pay out a lot later. So it's just the cultist. Two cultist means that they're just one value symbols now, but just one more and they're all three value symbols, so that's definitely worth it. We've already made 50, so the blue pepper is really paying out. I think picking up a present early is just pretty good, and a gold too, because we have made our next rent. We have to make sure that we continue making rent, but we're at 83 here. Alright, I'm gonna grab my table for a second, just to make sure that we're making our next rents, because things can get interesting now. Bronze arrow is so incredibly good, but I think it's too early right now. We don't have anything for it to point to. So it might actually be worse than a one value symbol for now. So I'm just gonna grab a random two value symbol. Happy hour is very good. If we pick up a wine, it's going to be extremely strong. That becomes a four value symbol. Jack-o'-lantern and tax evasion both can be decent. Tax evasion is kind of difficult to make a real profit out of, but it's possible to do it. I'm just gonna go for the happy hour. It's the easiest one to make work. I forgot to check how much rent we're making. We need to make 18, and by the end of this rent cycle, I kind of want to move towards 26 every spin. And we're making 18 now. That's definitely enough for now. Thief, don't want it. Let's just go for another two value symbol. I think right now two value symbols are good, although we have just shut off the blue pepper. That's the thing, actually. Do we want a big ore here? Let's just go for the big ore. I think that now that we've turned off the blue pepper, just picking up two value symbols is good. Beer is a two value symbol, rabbit fluff 2. So we're full on symbols now, that's good. 21 is fine. I mean, beer is going to be a liability later, unless we find a reason to build something around a dwarf. So I think it's around between item capsule and buffing capsule, and I think I just want buffing capsule. Although item capsule could give us Nori the rabbit, and that would actually be a lot better. You know what? We're making next rent. Let's go for the item capsule. There, if we get it early, green pepper, easy to make work. Right, we're close to 150, so that's good. So now we need to make 26 every spin, going on 34 for the next rent cycle. So we're not that far ahead, but hustling capsule, I mean, it's kind of a zero value symbol for now. But we don't want Hex of Hoarding. Bear is just okay. I mean, we have a lot of random two value symbols already, and I really don't want to add another one that doesn't really do anything. Good reroll, but let's just go for the hustling capsule. Lint roller gives us 10, but it would remove the rabbit fluff, which is, we kind of want to keep the rabbit fluff for now. So let's just go for the lockpick. Oh. Very important. How many symbols do we have? 22. I think it's right, because one of them is removing itself. I think we want to try and keep some symbols for now. I kind of missed how much we made this rent payment, but I think we're definitely making this rent. The question is if we're making the next one. I don't want any of these symbols, and I still don't want to reroll. So let's see how much we're making here. 31, that's actually decent. 31 means that we are... Yeah, we need to make 34 every spin. Wow. We need to make 34 every spin if we're going to make 225. And we're pretty close to that already. Lockbox broke instantly because of the lockpick. That's also good. 38, yeah, that's also good. That means that we're actually a lot ahead and we can just keep on grabbing hustling capsules, which is great because hustling capsule just does so much early on, in the long run. Hex of Tedium because we're trying to find cultists, and this means that we can definitely remove something here, I think. I hope. So if we find a die at some point, our gambler is going to do something. Yeah, we're very close to 225 already, that's very good. Alright, 225. Our first essence. This is bad. I don't want to move into suits while I have 2 cultists and a bunch of random stuff. I definitely don't want to move into suits. So I don't think that's the pick. Jack-o'-lantern essence is extremely good. But we don't have a toddler and we don't really have a reason to pick up a toddler. And I think we would need more than just this to make it worth it. I'm gonna go for the frying pan essence. Eggs are destroyed when adjacent to cheese. Well, or the other things that make omelets. Adds an omelet and destroys itself whenever eggs are destroyed. Omelets give 3 times more money this game. I'm gonna pick it up. There's a decent chance that I'll never use it. Alright, I don't want any of these. We don't have any synergies with any of these, and I mean, we have 20 symbols, and that's actually a little bit on the low side, but we could reroll and hope that we hit a 5-sided die, or a Hex of Tedium, or there are actually a bunch of uncommons that we want. I'm gonna reroll here. Don't want any of these. Could go for the buffer fish actually. It has some interesting synergies, nothing that interacts with anything that we already have. But we only have 20 symbols, we have a coal and 4 duds. I think we need to pick something up. Noir the rabbit, that's really good. We have a rabbit, and we have rabbit fluff, so this gives 2 straight up. 38, that's good. Yeah, there's a toddler and a candy for the jack-o'-lantern essence that we didn't pick up. Right, we need to make 34 every spin. We want to move towards making 44 every spin pretty soon. 33, yeah. That means that we're actually not ahead at this point. I mean, we're ahead by a tiny bit, but not enough to make it really relevant. Here's a 2-value symbol, but I'm just gonna go for another item capsule and hope that it gives me something. Yellow pepper is very good. 30. Alright. Now we're picking up the 3-sided die to make the gambler payout. This was the plan from the start, and you're actually relatively likely to find a 3-sided die at some point, but picking up a lot of 1-value symbols can actually do a lot of damage to you, but 47? That's actually decent. So, there's an egg, we have the frying pan essence, and honestly frying pan essence can be extremely good, but I just don't see it happening here, right? I'm just gonna go for another gambler. We have a bunch of random symbols that we are not that interested in. But we have already made this friend, and we're over 300, which means that we are kind of a rent payment ahead. So that's good. I just don't want to start falling behind. But since we're still a little bit ahead, that means that we can pick up a Matryoshka doll. These are all so bad. I mean, Shattered Mirror. We want to see more symbols, not less. I'm gonna pick up the swear jar. I don't know if it's ever going to pay out. 23 symbols means that we can remove probably the coin. Sure. 36. So 36, what does that mean? That we are definitely on par to hit 225, but not to hit something after that. So yeah, our swear jar definitely isn't triggering. I don't think it's too late for bar of soap. I mean, we're making 300, but we're not really making anything after that. We've had a bunch of misses recently, which isn't that much of a problem, but it kind of is. I'm gonna reroll, hope to hit. I was hoping to hit a cultist, but I'll settle for a diamond. So 2 diamonds, that's pretty good. These are all misses, so it's fine. It's only a matter of time for the gambler to pay out, and that means that we're safe to have him for now. Right, we're still enough ahead that I'm not worried. 47, yeah, 47, that's actually definitely enough for now. Alright, so we have the yellow pepper, so we definitely want to always have enough symbols. We're gonna lose a dud in 3 spins. We're gonna lose our gambler pretty soon. I don't know, do we want a peach? It's just a 2 value symbol. I'm gonna skip on it.
Oh no.
That's the gambler. 15, 61. Right, there's a save. We were hoping for stuff to do with our lockpick, so that's good. 45, yeah, 45 is good. So we need to hit 375 for our next rent payment. Just a second. I'm gonna just get rid of the swear jar pretty soon because it's distracting. And it's not gonna help us anymore. Birdhouse. Birdhouse Essence can be insanely strong, but we don't have anything that it works with yet, so I don't think that works. Yellow pepper is going to give 20. That's okay. Small symbol bomb is going to give us removal tokens, which is also okay. But we don't have that many symbols yet, and we just want more symbols, so let's just go for the free 20 bucks. And there's a witch. We have 2 hexes, although one of them we kind of want to remove at some point. The game really wants us to get a 5th ace, but I don't even have the first 4, so I don't think that makes sense. Small symbol bomb gives us a time capsule. Do we want a time capsule? I've been experimenting with it a bit, and I think this is a situation where it's fine to pick it up. Right, I mean, so what can we get back? We can get back a bubble, which is okay. We're not at the point where it's a detriment yet. We can get an item capsule, which is also fine. Hustling capsule, which is great. A lockbox, which is great. Present, which would kind of suck, but eventually it'll be gone, so I don't think it's that much of a problem. A gambler or another Matryoshka doll or a dud. I mean, maybe it's not good enough, but I think it was at the very least a fun pick. 47, yeah. We don't want a random 2 value symbol or a dwarf, so this doesn't really help us. 42. 42 is also decent. Extra Destruction could be interesting, but I don't think it does anything for us here. No. It's just gonna destroy some of the symbols that we actually want to stay. We get a gambler back, which is okay. It's not bad. It's not great. Right. This is the save. 31, yeah. It's a good spin. Could we get away with picking up another Matryoshka is the question. So we have 3 symbols that are gonna leave pretty soon, right? We have the dud, the light bulb, and the gambler. Those are all going to go away, which leaves us with 21 symbols. I'm just gonna pick up the Matryoshka doll here. I don't think it's too late. It might end up as a 3 value symbol eventually. 43, yeah, 43 means that we're definitely behind, but we're not behind by a lot. 47. Actually, we need to make 48 every spin now, so we are actually not that much behind. The scaling in this game is kind of weird in right how fast you need to get better, but the way the numbers work out, I'm just gonna go and crack the swear jar. It's never going to do anything for us. We were close to 500, which means that we are still ahead. We need to hit 450, which means making 58 every spin. I mean, the reason that the numbers work out in a weird way is that right now we have 121 left, so we actually don't need to make 450 in the next rent cycle. We need to make like 329. Sorry, I was thinking of numbers in Dutch, not in English, so things kind of got screwed up. So bartender is interesting, right? We have the happy hour. And bartender is a 3-value symbol that will give us stuff like wine and martini and chemical 7, but he also gives us beers. And that's... I don't know how good or bad that really is. I've had a bunch of really strong runs where I picked up a bartender, and I've had some kind of downer runs after picking up a bartender. I'm actually gonna skip on the bartender here. I could pick up a save, but I think that now that we have 3 reroll tokens, getting a guaranteed rare is actually just too important. That's a frozen fossil, so that's good. We had those 2 cultists, we have the hexes, and I think it's we have the witch too. So the frozen fossil is going to be insanely strong if it's going to be there fast enough. And to hasten it a little bit, I'm gonna remove the Hex of Draining. But that's still 14 turns, 14 spins, and that's actually a long time. So, which means that we kind of want to find some ways to remove our symbols, because I think 14 spins is just too much. Although, right, it's less than 2 rent cycles, so eventually it'll be there, and we are probably enough ahead to ride this out. So it shouldn't be a problem. But it's something to keep in mind. I mean, I think partly because we're enough behind that we can do this, but I don't know. Do we want to reroll here? I mean, we have 2 rerolls. I think we can get away with it. And we skip. Our 2 Matrushkas are actually doing work. 42. Don't really want another item capture. Let's just go for the void creature. I don't think there's a lot of common symbols that are going to help us at this stage. This might be a good spot to pick up the Hex of Hoarding, actually. I don't think it is, actually. Really difficult to say. I mean, the Hex of Hoarding is going to be removed by the by the Eldritch creature at some point, but that might be actually a long time. Now, probably better not to chance it. Let's skip. I haven't looked at how much we're making a long time. And honestly, 450 minus 288 divided by 4. We need to make 41 every spin. We're making that. But, as I said, we're plateauing a little bit, and we need something to get us further ahead. Which could mean that we need to reroll for a good rare. Let's do that. I think it's difficult to know for sure what the best course of action is here. None of these help us. I think we're not doing well enough to be able to afford an Essence Capsule. Although maybe we are, I don't know. Buffing Capsule, always great. Especially at this stage of the game. Yeah, 57. Light Bulb for our diamonds, which is also very good. We still have the Pearl, which is kind of mediocre, but well. Right, 474, which means that we've only just made it here. So, if we're going to make 600, we need to make 68 every spin. Yeah, we need to make about 68 every spin. Starting now. Which might be difficult. And we miss on our essences. So Checkered Flag essence is insane if we find Robin Hood. And just for that, it might be worth it. Flush essence isn't going to happen. Holy Water essence. No. No, we're never going to get that many essences. So I'm gonna grab the checkered flag essence and hope for a Robin Hood. Diver. Yeah, Diver is pretty decent. We have an anchor that we want to get rid of, the pearl, the pufferfish. I hope he's fast enough, but it's definitely what we're doing here. We don't have anything that the conveyor belt works on, so it's probably best to grab the dwarf and anvil. Maybe, in theory, we're going to end up with a dwarf. So, things are pretty tight. We have to make sure that we are actually winning. 56, that's not enough eventually, but it might be good enough for this spin. But we need to reroll here. I mean, the dwarf isn't doing anything right now, right? Actually, I mean, the happy hour hasn't done anything for the entire game, which is kind of a letdown too. Rain is a 3-value symbol. Do we want a random 3-value symbol? I mean, we're going to be removing symbols pretty quickly. Let's pick it up just to make sure that we have enough symbols. Right, because the diver is removing stuff. 44. I don't think Gambler is good enough at this point. Don't think he does anything. Let's reroll. Another light bulb. Let's make those diamonds work for us. Alright. More stuff is happening. 49. Definitely not enough. 600 minus 170 divided by 6 means that we need to make 72 every spin right now. Wow, we might actually lose this one right now. I'm gonna grab a pearl for the diver, but there's a decent chance that it's already too late. 53. Yeah, I'm grabbing a 5-sided die, but again, not great. 60. I mean, 60 would have been great a long time ago, but not anymore. I don't know how we're going to win this from this point. We kind of need a mega chest and to have the lockpick break it. Alright, let's stack multipliers on those diamonds. That's not a diamond, but we are stacking multipliers. 52, yeah. Not even close. I mean, I need more 3-value symbols in order to even have a small chance of surviving. 49. Yeah, we have lost this one. Shame, because we were doing so well too. Yeah, Eldritch Creature showing up just a little bit too late. That's actually the big problem with the Eldritch Creature, right? It's just very slow. But we never found a lot of... We were kind of rare starved, right? We had the Witch, and eventually we got the Eldritch Creature and the Diver, but we didn't find a lot of great stuff. We could have tried to do something early with beers and the happy hour. We saw a bartender, we saw a lot of dwarves, but I don't think that's a sustainable strategy. I think if we had tried that we would have actually lost earlier. The light bulbs were kind of a Hail Mary, because, I mean, we did have the 2 diamonds, and the 2 diamonds were actually very good. But the diamonds, they're very good for the one spot that they're in, but they're not going to save your whole run. They're going to make it easier for you to survive longer, to make other stuff good. And the Witch was on her way to being decent, and eventually the Eldritch Creature would have been insanely strong, actually. But not right now. I think we were just a little bit too slow. I don't know exactly what we could have done differently. I mean, we didn't see anything good for the happy hour. We picked everything for the lockbox, the lockpick that we could. Except for the one spin where we picked up the Eldritch Creature, and we could have picked up a save, but again, that's not a sustainable strategy late game. Bull Ball was extremely good. Larry the Rabbit, extremely good. Yellow Pepper, decent. But we actually had a lot of misses, right? We didn't find any great essence. At least none that we could really use. We saw a lot of items that only worked with suits, but there wasn't really any opportunity to move into suits at some point. Also, we had those two cultists. Never saw any more cultists. So things just didn't work out. It was a fun run though. But it means that we have lost another one. Current win streak 0. 27 divided by 49 means that we are at 55% win right now. I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of, but it's definitely lower than I'm accustomed to it being. So, I feel like we had a decent run. And if we had found just one essence that helped us a decent amount, or just one more rare that helped us multiply stuff, right? Maybe a second witch or whatever. I think this run might have ended up differently. That said, this was another Lucky Landlord run. I had fun. I hope we all learned something. But in any case, I will see you next time. Goodbye.